Hey there, it's me. Number 9. A remote and isolated island in the Indian Ocean. It is famous for its rich wildlife, beautiful beaches, and an abundance of delicious food. The island is also home to a mysterious series of ancient ruins. These ruins consist of dozens of massive stone structures that were built hundreds or even thousands of years ago. But the most remarkable thing about them is that they seem to defy the laws of physics. Despite their immense size, they are perfectly balanced, and even the tiniest of tremors cannot budge them. Far out in the Pacific Ocean lies a small island, remote and isolated, and yet home to one of the greatest mysteries of human history. This is Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, one of the most remote inhabited islands in the world. Its most iconic feature, nearly 1,000 massive stone statues called Moai. Each Moai can weigh up to 80 tons and stand over 30 feet tall. Carved from volcanic rock, they were created by the Rapa Nui people around 1100 to 1600 AD. But how did such a small island community create and move these giants? And what secrets do they hold? Join me as we uncover the truth behind the Moai. How were they built? When European explorers stumbled upon Easter Island in the early 18th century, they found only a few dozen statues scattered across the island. But recent discoveries suggest that there were once closer to 885 Moai scattered across Easter Island, with at least 400 still standing. Each Moai has a solemn, expressionless face with long ears and a wide nose. Their arms are long and slender, while their bodies are bulky. The Moai were all created in the same style, suggesting that they represent a common ancestor or a supernatural being. The exact purpose of each statue is unknown, but many scholars believe that they were intended to serve as memorials to the island's ancient leaders and priests. Archaeologists discovered that most Moai were carved at a volcanic quarry called Rano Raraku. Using stone tools, workers would chip away at the rock for months, sometimes years, to form a single statue. But the real mystery is transportation. In fact, we don't know exactly how they moved these giant statues. Several theories have been proposed to explain how the Moai were transported across the island. One theory suggests that the statues were rolled on logs. Another theory proposes that ropes were used to drag the statues along the ground. But the most fascinating theory suggests that the statues were walked upright with a rocking motion. Recently, a team of scientists conducted a series of experiments to test this theory. They found that by tying ropes around the statues and swaying them side to side like living beings, they could indeed be walked upright. Although it was hard work requiring lots of people, it was possible to move the statues without dislodging them from their moorings. The Moai didn't just represent ancestral spirits. They were actually believed to be the physical embodiment of the island's spiritual energy. Some believe that the statues were more than just stone, they were actually alive. The legends say that the Moai held mana, a kind of spiritual force that gave the people strength and power. In fact, it was believed that the statues themselves could walk and move around the island. The idea that the Moai were alive was so widespread that the Rapa Nui people took great care to protect them from harm. They built platforms and raised them above the ground to keep them safe from erosion and decay. Today, we don't know for sure whether the Moai were considered alive by the Rapa Nui people. But one thing is certain, the statues were an integral part of the island's culture and history. It's likely that each village had its own patron deity, and that the Moai represented that deity in physical form. The Moai were not only worshipped, but they were also feared. According to legend, the statues were capable of great feats of strength and power. It was believed that they could shake the island with their footsteps and cause the sea to churn with their anger. If anyone dared to disrespect the Moai, they risked incurring their wrath. In fact, there are stories of people who disappeared after angering the statues. Some believe that the Moai took them away to the underworld, or that they simply vanished into thin air. Despite their power, the Moai were not immune to the forces of nature. Over the centuries, many statues have been eroded by wind and rain, and some have fallen victim to human activity. However, there are still over 500 Moai standing on Easter Island today, silently guarding the secrets of this mysterious island. So what led to the fall of a civilization? As mentioned earlier, the creation of the Moai came at a high cost. To move the statues, many trees had to be cut down and entire forests vanished. Without trees to hold the soil in place, the land became vulnerable to erosion, and much of the island's fertile soil washed away into the sea. This, in turn, led to food shortages and eventually famine. With resources becoming scarce, the people of Easter Island turned to violence and warfare broke out between the villages. The once prosperous civilization began to crumble, And by the time Europeans arrived in the 18th century, Easter Island was a shadow of its former self. The population had dwindled, and the society was in chaos. What can we learn from the Moai? Today, the Moai continue to captivate the world with their mystery and grandeur. Scholars and scientists continue to study the statues in an effort to unlock the secrets of their creation and purpose. While many have tried to explain the Moai phenomenon, some believe that there is still much that we do not understand about these ancient relics. There is a sense of wonder and awe that these massive structures still stand on the island after all these years. They serve as a reminder of the ingenuity and determination of the Rapa Nui people who created them. As we look to the future, it is important to remember the lessons of Easter Island. The island's unique environment and its isolation played a significant role in shaping the course of human history. The Rapa Nui people's interactions with their environment and the consequences of their actions are a reminder of the importance of balance and sustainability. By studying the rise and fall of the Moai, we can gain a deeper understanding of the challenges that face our world today. The story of the Moai is a reminder that human ingenuity and creativity can lead to great things, but it is also a warning of the dangers of unchecked exploitation and conflict. It is a story that continues to resonate with us today and will continue to inspire wonder and curiosity for generations to come. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments below. And remember, in a world full of chaos and confusion, knowledge is the anchor that keeps us grounded. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep exploring the world around you. Who knows what amazing discoveries you might make? Thanks for watching.